Today, of course, we have a special presentation of Inside Sports Talk Radio that's coming at you. Ian Rollins and Earl Baston up next, right here in the big station, Power 95. Shout out going out to Miss Donna and all the crew over there at the Mid-Atlantic Wellness Center, all the dietary staff. Top of the day to y'all. Thank you. Gotta say that. All right, y'all. Inside Sports Talk Radio up next, right here at Power 95 FM, your big station.
This weather update was provided by the Bermuda Weather Service, sponsored by the F&M.
It's now time for Inside Sports Talk Radio with host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Basden. Brought to you by the Lindos Group of Companies, Colonial Group International, Global Atlantic Financial Group, Game Time, and Fit for Life with Dave Wolf. Now let's go live with Ian Rollins and Earl Basden.
And good afternoon and welcome to Inside Sports Talk Radio. We're good. Yes, we are good. Welcome to Inside Sports Talk Radio. It's September the 5th on this Wednesday afternoon. Yes, as you know, we do the show every Monday, but we moved it to Wednesday due to the public holiday of Labor Day. So we moved it to this Wednesday.
Today is you're making it feel like Monday.
I ain't starting the week over.
No, it's Wednesday. It's hump day, right? It's hump day. Good afternoon to both gentlemen. Good afternoon, Earl Basin and Mr. Roddy Gunn.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rollins. How are you?
I am good. All is well. Oh, he stood up. Yep. Did his salute.
Yeah, it's done his salute.
That's what you call the country club. The country club.
Oh, okay.
Country club salute. Yeah. Country club salute.
And I'm at the country club of the fellows. You know. Stephen, Jonathan,
Peter,
Timothy. Top of the day, fellas. Play a round of golf today.
That's true.
We talking about any golf today by any chance?
It's a possibility.
Any golf in the sports?
Yeah, the Riders' Cup is coming out.
Okay.
You playing?
If it's a little cooler. They got them hats with the umbrellas.
They gotta play night golf.
Yeah. Got some lights hooked up on those courses.
That's what we need, some night golf.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. Look into that. Maybe a little something.
I played it once or twice here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't get your invite?
Can't remember. I gotta look back on my schedule. It's like so much is going on, man. You asked me what's my name on a bad day,
and you may not remember. I got it. That's understandable. Well, good afternoon to our listeners. Inside Sports Talk Radio again on this Wednesday afternoon. We have our guest that will be joining us today. We have the Bermuda Jump Rope Federation, and we have your guest.
Scott Barnes.
Bermuda
Karting Club.
Right, Karting Club. He will be joining us in the studio today. We had another guest that was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately due to his schedule, he has to reschedule and join us next week, Monday. But other than that, all is good on this side. As the cricket festival has come to an end, called the Cricket Festival, meaning the cup match, the Eastern Counties and Western Counties has come to an end. Someone had called me last night and said, it'd be kind of interesting, in the Eastern Counties, you have St. David's winning the cup, you have Bayless Bay, and you have Cleveland County. And I think Earl called it early in the season when Cleveland had won. Earl said, okay, it's going to change hands 3 times. So said, so done. So credit to you on that part. But someone texted me last night and said, you know what? They should have a cup between Flats and Somerset Bridge.
What would that do?
Because they don't win either cup in either competition.
That term will come.
Well, I think the last time Flats won the Eastern Counties was when you and I were in high school. 81, 82 at Whitney. Right. Somerset Bridge has won it later on.
Somerset Bridge was the last winners when it was a 2-day final.
And that was when? Sometime ago.
Now you're done it.
Right, sometime. No, it's more than 5 years.
Oh, long, much longer than that.
Back a little too far.
Right, yeah.
What's your name?
2-day final. You remember that?
Yeah.
2-day final, Saturday and Sunday, right? So someone just texted me and said they should have a competition between Flats and Bridge. See who wins that cup. I said no, it'll be a draw. But nevertheless, it's all good. It'll be interesting next year now that it's all going regarding Eastern Counties now. That's all back in St. David's.
Right.
And St. David's are the new champions, so it'll be interesting in the first round because you got St. David's and Bayless Bay.
Yeah, interesting matchup right from the start, but it all depends on the teams that are selected and who makes themselves available.
Yeah.
That's always for the community of St. David's and Bayless Bay for that matter. It's always the biggest event for them, and to be first up. That's what you want. You want to catch a team while they're still fresh, because it'll be early in the season, It obviously be 4-cup match. So, you know, Bayless Bay, St. David's, mouth-watering first round.
Yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. Then it's followed by Cleveland and
Cleveland,
Flats the last say.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at the way Eastern County is set up, it's always interesting when the draw comes out, because a team, and you're talking about Flats, a team like Flats having the last match puts them in a good position.
Yeah. I see you again. I see where you're going. You're right about that.
Because you only have to win one to be the champions.
That's right.
If you're drawing first and you win, now you got to get yourself up to go second, and then if you're successful, you got to go to third. So, you know, that one shot, all you got to do for that one day is put it together, and you're champions for that until next year. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they were in position last year in St. David's when they played Bayless Bay. Unfortunately, Kamal got cramped. Right. Things changed for them, but they were in a good position up until that point. Yeah, because it's that one last game that you know what I mean. Right. So if they can pull some strings together, who knows? Kevin Hurdle might go back. You never know. He becomes eligible. You know, so you know if you look at the pieces that they're missing, one or two here and there, to make that whole package work for them. I mean, they build Cleveland County out, you know, but just couldn't chase the runs.
Couldn't get the runs. Yeah, right. You're right. What do you think our mate Troy Douglas is saying right about now?
Oh, you probably won't be able to find him right now.
Think he'll answer his phone?
I don't think so.
Even it's on the other side of the world?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because he said, you know, Cleveland will pull it through, right?
Well,
let's refer back to file footage.
That audio footage?
Yeah, he said he'll pull it through. So.
He'll probably answer the phone and say, I'm in the middle of coaching right now. I can't talk to you.
Can't talk.
Get back at you.
And probably saying in Dutch, so yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, that's all good.
Yeah.
Football season got underway.
Yeah.
Meaning cup competition. What was it like this past weekend?
You had the Charity Cup, PHC and Robin Hood. Probably two of the favorites to win the league. Closely contested match. I thought at times Robin Hood had the better of the play, just couldn't put their chance away, and PHC capitalized on their on errors and got the 2-1 win. You know, so right. Obviously girls win the game. If you score more girls than your opponent, you become the winner. So, you know, PHC scored twice, Robin Hood scored once. And if you look at the makeup of Robin Hood's team, they have a lot of people from different places. Now, they have a lot of people from PHC.
So it was like PHC playing PHC?
PHCA playing PHCB.
Oh, but one of those games. Okay.
But it's gonna be challenging a second time around for Coach John Barry Newsom to keep that unit settled. There were times where I think they were disruptive amongst themselves that hurt their chances of actually doing better than what they've done. And if they don't learn how to control their emotions amongst themselves, the season's going to be long for them, you know. And yeah, they're going to win some games, but they're going to end up hurting themselves in some games that they should win, right, because they just don't have that harmony right now. Wow. And they need to fix that as quickly as possible.
And that comes through experience.
Yeah, and it comes to having to, you see, a lot of teams, when you come up through a club, you get to know somebody off the field, on the field, you know, backyard sort of thing. So a lot of these guys are meeting each other kind of for the first time. You know, you don't socialize in that circle. You don't. So the only time you interact is on the field. And once a problem arises, then you have a bigger problem because you don't know how I react to a situation because you haven't been around me long enough, and I don't know how you react to a situation. So if we're both butting heads, we're just making the hill bigger and bigger. So,
right. And
you know?
Yeah, he said making the hill bigger, and it becomes a challenge after that.
Yeah, knowing when, like you said, when you have a background of knowing someone, you know, knowing where their strengths are in the game and on the field.
It's like
know where yours are.
It's almost like this. Right. When you grow up with somebody, if you go, when we were growing up, we went swimming together, we got out of the water, we went play cricket, we went play football, whatever. So I knew you were a strong swimmer than me, but you knew I was a better cricketer than you. But we knew that because of what we done off the field.
Right.
So when we got on the field, your strength was you're able to kick a little harder than me. So I just need to teach you or work with you on some direction. You know, so those are the type of things where when you grow up around a club,
it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it makes it, especially a club together.
Yeah.
If you're with each other, then you know, if you look around the clubs that have youth programs that have come through for a while, you'll see they're a together group. No matter what goes on, they all stick together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts.
Yeah.
Just want to let our listeners know that we will have our sports trivia question of the week again. We will have that trivia question for you. We see what our friend Google can do today. Right. See what Google can do today.
Okay.
I got one quick question, and that's switching up. Still in sports, though. That on the international side. Nike came out bold and supported Kaepernick, put him on the face of Nike for the fall.
You realize they've had that for 2 years?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, they've had that picture for 2 years, and just decided to use it. I think
the timing is perfect.
Yeah,
I
perfect.
think the timing is
yeah.
perfect. It was a great marketing tool. That's obvious. Some people burnt their sneakers, and the stocks that they didn't plummet, but they dropped a bit. But you know what? They'll rebound. I bet you within a week. On Nike, right? Or probably even faster than that. But the fact is that it's a message being sent out, and that not all athletes, but athletes are speaking out. People like Tom Brady, who supports that, thought it was a great idea. So the guy number 45, you can take that too.
Yeah, he had his rant on it, where he disagreed with it, and he let Nike know he disagreed with it in a tweet. Obviously, you know, when you're the leader of the free world, you should be able to pick up the phone and speak to people, but he rather speak
by Twitter.
Yeah, which kind of, find out the facts and reasons why they done it, and they may have a legitimate reason for him to understand. Does
he understand anything?
No. But a lot of people understand that the kneeling isn't to disrespect the military.
No, of course not.
The kneeling was to bring attention to what was going on the streets with everyday citizens by the police. That's all it was.
That's all it was, mate.
Yeah.
But he took it and twisted it. Guy number 45.
So my thing is, if you go to a church, when you go up to the altar, do you not kneel?
Yeah.
It's the
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand the protests that everybody's against what these guys are doing. They're just bringing attention to something it's happening in the city that they were playing in, it's happening in other cities. One way to make a statement to bring attention to the situation, non-violent, as I might add as well, is to take a stand, and they take a knee. You know, now the NFL finds itself in a ticklish situation because now they had to come up with a rule that players that don't want to take a knee can stay in the changing room.
And it's not happening either. It's not working.
Yeah, you know, so what happens, and here lies the problem. Ever since Kaepernick was taking a knee, now all the networks show the national anthem. About 4 years ago, the only time you saw the national anthem on television was the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because they would go to commercial while all that stuff was going on, and then come back game time.
Yeah, you're right.
They'll do a pre-game show as that was going on, boom, and they'll show you highlights of the eagle landing in the middle or somebody parachuting in. They show you highlights of that. They never showed you the national anthem. They just don't do that.
Right.
You know, so now the national anthem has become the focal point of professional sports. You know, and did they ignore that? I believe it was the Navy at a football game, the entire team in the end zone knelt during the national anthem. You know, but that was ignored because it was the entire team. It weren't a handful of guys.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, come on, man.
Yeah. Good point.
Come on. The guy's not burning anything. The guy's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's bringing attention to something that's
standards and
ideologies
and
You're right.
Yeah.
But I just give, I'm not a Nike person, I'm an Adidas person.
Okay.
But I just give Nike credit for what they've done. And you inform me that that's been on the shelf for 2 years.
Yeah.
So the timing of it is perfect.
Right.
Just the response is just tremendous.
I mean, the amount of athletes that have supported it, and even I saw a tweet from Bermuda's Tyron Smith, Olympian. He said he's going out to buy Nike stuff right away that's the support. That's the athlete support.
That's what I'm saying.
Of another athlete.
You see what I'm saying? The stuff.
Yes.
I was reading a saying just now, and I'll change some of the words, but it says Nike don't care if you're burning stuff.
Right. Yeah.
That you've already purchased.
Yeah, you've already bought it.
You're right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
And then the bottom line goes back to what you're saying. They don't care because, I'm using Tyrone as an example, he's going out and purchase more.
Yeah.
And one thing about people, if a star buys something,
That
somebody else is going to buy it because that person's got it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Simple as that.
It's that simple.
Simple as that.
Be
And they just signed another 8-year contract that will last till 2028 to be the apparel for the NFL. Nike.
Time you got a couple of advertisements on TV.
There you go.
The stores will be flooded.
Yeah.
Next month, this time will be washed all over.
Whatever.
Okay, so that's a valid point you're saying. They signed an extension
They signed it in March.
of this year.
That because their contract ends in 2020.
So they
Right? They
extended
signed
to
another 8 years to 2028.
So it's another 10 years basically.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. So I mean, if you look at it, Nike's in the best position they could be in
They surely
because
can.
they have already signed that contract. They've done everything. Now they're showing support to an athlete who, to be honest, has been victimized
Yeah.
by, a system that has been allowed to take advantage of people.
For sure.
When you have a bunch of owners, because when this goes to court, it's going to be a big separation of owners in the NFL because the only way he would know that there's a ploy to keep him out of the NFL is if an NFL owner tells him.
And the sense is that they're feeding that out.
Yeah.
That they're keeping him on. So they know that
Yeah.
they're getting their information.
Yeah.
That's why when it goes to court. In addition to that, you know full well when the NFL strikes, when the players go on strike, the owners suffer.
Oh, they suffer. Big time.
They suffer. Right? So if that comes down to that part of a strike, that's when you say your stocks are going to drop. Drop in the NFL. And they're already losing it now, right?
Right.
In TV ratings because of the response to what's happened in the last 2 years from Kaepernick, right? Interesting enough. Well, let's take our first commercial break, and hopefully our first guest will be joining us in studio. We'll be back after this.
With host Ian Rollins and co-host Earl Pace.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. That's a quick commercial break. Nevertheless, it's all good. We are just waiting on our first guest to arrive, and we will have them in studio. As we mentioned earlier, that one person did pull out, so that did open up the airwaves for us. If that's it, you can give us a call on anything that we'd like to discuss regarding sports and anything that's on your mind to our guests arrives in studio. We can discuss that and more. Back to the local front, football. The Bermuda Football Association has some upcoming matches, international matches, as they prepare for the first ever CONCACAF Nations Cup, which is, I think, a good sign for Bermuda.
Yeah.
It's not just depending on our national team to host a country or a team during the Christmas break or any break that is. But this is something that can open doors for us. I think we have our first game in this month, and then it's a game in October.
First game Sunday,
and
in
then
Curacao,
October, November, and then in March of 2019. With that said, just explaining to our listeners what this entails? What's this format all about?
All the countries involved in CONCACAF were drawn. They had a draw, which would allow everyone to play 3 matches in a period or during the international break. As we know, over the years during international breaks, countries the size of Bermuda and smaller, just a little bigger, have always struggled to get games due to financing.
Correct.
CONCACAF, through FIFA funding, has been allowed to now forgo all of that and allow and get this tournament up and running, which gives Bermuda these 4 games. 4 games. So you get to play 4 games,
right.
And it kind of gives you a sense of you're not just waiting every 4 years to get ready for a World Cup qualifier. So if you're successful and you manage to get by or finish top of your group, then it's more football. If it's not, at least you got 4 games in a space of, 7 months?
7 months. Yeah, 8 months.
8 months,
yeah.
Which you normally wouldn't get, especially for Bermuda, because we're so far and it costs so much to bring in a team to play. So
right.
It allows the senior men's team, that much more activity, and it's all happening during the international break. So for the players such as Reggie Lamb, who played last night,
right.
scored his first goal for Cambridge United, although they lost. They scored first. They lost 3-1. He would have flown out this morning, heading to Miami to meet up with the team, because they left yesterday morning.
Right.
You had the likes of Willie Clemens and Dante Levrock join up with the team, Zico Lewis. Because it's an international break, it allows these guys the freedom and not the pressure of having to make a decision whether or not they're going to play for their club or play internationally. So
right.
it just allows that much more relaxed time. Obviously, there was a lot of talk in the daily that Nicky Wells will be playing. And the team comes out and it's no Nicky Wells. So sometimes it's better just to keep things to yourself before until they come out.
Yeah. Sure.
But
you might not want it to go out the wrong way.
Well, a lot of statements are always made because they want to be first, and when you're wrong, you never say, well,
I was wrong. I got the wrong.
It's unfortunate, but sometimes you're better left, better leave things unsaid until it actually happens, and so
do your analysis and what have you. From that point.
Yeah. So hey, it is what it is. But good luck to the boys. They are training in Miami for today and tomorrow, and then head to Curacao because they were supposed to play in Aruba. They're playing Aruba, but the national stadium in Aruba is not ready. So they've moved the match to Curacao. We were a little unfortunate not to get that leg because it would have given us 3 home games.
Yeah.
But they managed to work out a deal with Curacao, and that's where they're going to play. So, you look at the CONCACAF have come out with rankings of late, and Bermuda currently sit, I believe, in the men's 23rd or 24th, something like that. So this is an opportunity because we get these games to raise even the FIFA ranking, because as we all know,
less games you play,
the further you drop. Now, you could play and lose, and your ranking goes higher because you get X amount of points every time you step on the field.
That's right.
So this actually gives us an opportunity to rise up. Although remember, all the CONCACAF nations are playing.
Correct.
So it's you're gonna have to win a few games in order to jump above some other people.
The CONCACAF. What's the correct name?
CONCACAF region.
The CONCACAF region of this game.
Oh, National Nations Cup.
Nations Cup. Let me get it correct. CONCACAF Nations Cup. Reminds me somewhat of CARIFTA, if you think about it. Right, all the Caribbean countries. They're Bermuda in there, so it's somewhat like a CARIFTA. And kudos to all the Caribbean countries and Bermuda to participate in this event, because it does help us.
Believe it or not, Ian, it is the European Cup on this side of the world.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. With just not having the powerhouses involved. Because if you started throwing in Mexico, USA, and the South Americans, man, you're making it that much more difficult. But it's amongst the CONCACAF countries, which kind of allows you a balance, because you're gonna, unless you get a draw where you get the 40 powerhouses in the same group, and you happen to be what they consider a minnow in that group, then highly unlikely. But the way the seeding's done, they make sure that doesn't happen.
Right.
So it gives even a place like Bermuda an opportunity to pick up a win in a group stage sort of thing. So and we all know once Bermuda wins a game, everybody starts to feel good about it, and everybody wants to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So my thing is to the association, start promoting the local games now. Don't wait to see if some players will be available, because ultimately it's Bermuda playing. You want to come and see if Nakee's playing. Yeah, you want to come and see, but don't come and see Nakee play and forget about the person playing in goal, forgetting about the defender. They're all in Bermuda. We all support the one team.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's where we lose out, because, and I'll even draw. Okay, if you were to go to see Liverpool play, yeah, you want to see somebody that you really like watching play. But if that person's not available that day, you're not going to be disappointed, because you're getting to see Liverpool play.
Precisely.
Right. Yeah. So that's the point I make about Bermuda. Some people say, I'm only going if certain people are playing. Well, are you supporting the country or not?
No.
Yeah.
You're just supporting the individual.
Right.
Right. And it sends a bare message.
It does.
Right.
It does.
And that's across the board of all our sports. It's not just football.
And you know what? And you saying across the board is absolutely right, because we noticed that in even outside of sports too, in our everyday everyday goings on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I'll only support this person. Or I'll only go see if this person's, you use your profession. If this person's playing at a party, I'll go. Not the person who's having the party.
No. If this
person's playing at the party, I'll go. So I'm not going to support the party. I'm going to support the person that's playing at the party.
Yeah.
What type of party? No,
that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So.
And that's where it's going.
Yeah.
We need to pull it back to where, even on the sports scene, we
Right.
need to pull it back where you're coming out to support that team instead of the individual.
Now, Bermuda plays again, you said, this Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
Sunday. And then the first home game from Craig is October the 12th. It's a Friday?
Yeah, Friday night, yeah.
Right, and then the next one is in November.
Yes.
So, hopefully they could turn it around, win on the weekend, and then get promotion out there of this event that's going to happen October 12th. Obviously at the National Sports.
But to be honest, we should have been promoting even the away game to build that interest for the home games.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't wait until 2 weeks out and then start promoting a home game when we haven't promoted the team playing an away game.
Yeah, right. I got you. I got you on that. I got you. And I'm sure the BFA is well informed of that situation.
Yeah, my friend's buzzing.
At least it's yours, not mine. All right.
Not just Remy. I get into it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, our first guest has arrived in the studio. Not in the studio, but at the station. So I'm going to bring them in. We're going to take a commercial break and bring them into the studio. Give us a couple minutes. We'll be back after this. Yes, and welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Our guests did not arrive yet. They're on their way, so forgive me for that. With that said, our sports trivia question of the week goes like this. On January 31st, 1983, yes, January 31st, 1983, DJ Williams received one of the highest honors of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, for his contributions to the Olympic movement. Name the Olympic award presented to him by IOC President then Juan Antonio Samaranch. I'll read the question again. On January 31st, 1983, DJ Williams received one of the highest honors of the International Olympic Committee, IOC, for his contributions to the Olympic movement. Name the Olympic award presented to him by IOC President then Juan Antonio Samaranch. Of course, you can give us a call at 292-9595. Yeah, Google, you can't get it because I searched it this time. Bye. Hey, there it is.
Let's see.
So that's thorough.
Wow. Wow. I haven't had a look. See.
No. Let me see what she's gonna say.
Okay.
Let me see what she's gonna say.
She's doing her research now.
Yeah. Watch the phone ring.
Yeah. She's like, Ian.
Yeah, I know the number too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's going straight on.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So back to the football thing we were talking about. The games again in this Sunday with the national team.
Yeah.
And then the first home game is October 12th on their Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Next game is in November. And then months later it's in March. And of
Mm-hmm.
course the schedules like this due to international matches.
They do it during international breaks. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that works well for everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
players don't have that I don't know how many people know, but last year a lot of the games that we were playing weren't over like international breaks. So when Reggie was coming back, he was sacrificing a spot in his team to represent Bermuda. This time around, it's not the case because there's international duty, and players are a lot of times to represent the countries. As we all know, there's a bunch of European friendlies going on. There's Denmark made headlines because they're going to field a futsal team and their national team because the players and the professional players are striking.
and why are they striking?
They don't want to sign a contract for the Danish FA, so they've drafted in futsal players.
That's interesting.
If it works for them, guess what happens?
Oh, people will follow. It's like a domino effect.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like a domino effect.
I mean, I understand when players have concerns and the players in the professional players have taken a stance. I don't know where the talks are, but the headlines all day yesterday was Denmark will be featuring a futsal team as their national team to play a friendly.
So the players are striking,
Mhm.
taking a stance,
Mhm.
strike, due to what reason? What's the reason?
I didn't get it.
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
see what the problems were. Obviously, there's more than one because I can't see them protesting over one.
One issue.
Yeah. So just that the players are refusing to sign the document, and the FA, because they already have these games set, are getting guys to play futsal. As we know. But there were plenty of reports out yesterday, and we hear a lot from futsal people in Bermuda, Peter Ricard, saying that in Brazil that's where they learn from a young age, skill, ball handling, all that type of stuff. So who knows? Denmark might come out and actually look much better than they would
With the national team,
right? Because of the exceptional ball handling skills. Now, surface might be a little bit of a problem for him initially, because as we all know in futsal, you're playing on a true surface.
Right.
But when you're playing on natural surface, you got a little bounce here and there. It's going to turn. It's going to be doing a little bit more. Plus, it's a bigger space, so the ball's going to be traveling further distances because of the distance in the passing that allows you. But the close skillness of controlling the ball will actually come into play for them. So let's see. There'll be one I'll be looking at that score once they play, because it'll be interesting to see how they match up. I can't remember who they're playing, but it'll be an interesting matchup.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
that's like you said. If they win,
trust me.
Who will follow?
If they win and they start looking good, trust me, you can see a lot of nations saying, "Okay, well, Brazil was doing it. We kind of ignored it. But if Denmark could do it and improve, we need to start taking a look at this." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And futsal in Bermuda has grown, and the people that have these programs will tell you they'll see they could show you the improvement of a player that came through their ranking and is now playing probably in the Premier Division, and would say that they learned that ball handling skill through futsal.
Yeah.
Because it's a tighter area. You got to learn how to control the ball quickly. You got to be able to think. You got to be able to move. You got to, you know what I mean? So all that type of stuff, and they train at it so much, it just becomes a natural thing.
Yeah.
You know. So and as if you can get into a young person's mind doing it, imagine where you can go.
Yeah, interesting. Still in sports, the NFL gets underway this coming Thursday.
Weekend? Yeah.
This Thursday night. I
Okay.
think it's on NBC first, and then obviously the weekend games.
Right.
I don't know if you've been following much regarding favorites of the NFL, but I'm trying to understand why. Well, the favorite because of his quarterback. That's New England Patriots. They always pick Brady, the Patriots, to win the Super Bowl or make it to the Super Bowl. He's like 40 years old, if I'm correct, 39, 40.
Yeah.
That's pretty old, man. Like, how much more you want to play?
Hey.
Your body.
If you're winning.
Yeah, but then the hits you take and the wear and tear on your body. Yes, he's in great condition, but as you get older,
yeah,
the mental capacity gets a little loose, right? Loose knots there and here and everywhere. Why would you put your body through that, man?
Well, trust me, he probably has the backing of those 5 or 6 guys in front of him.
Yeah, the offensive line.
Nobody's gonna touch you, mate. And if you look at it over the last few years, he's been one that's been touched the least.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah. Because they know he's aged, so they have to be as sharp as they could be to ensure that he doesn't take the blows that a 23 or a 24-year-old could take. So
I ain't putting my body through that.
Yeah, the stringent regimen you would need to do to prepare for a season.
It's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough, mate, and it's a lot of work. And
what did Brett Favre? He played until what, 42, 43?
I can't remember age-wise, but I know he put in, I think it was 20 years.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And now he says he's coming out. He's saying, "I'm starting to feel the effects of putting in 20 years of NFL postseason."
But remember, when he started, there weren't no protection for the quarterbacks.
It was better protection 20 years ago. I'm sorry, let me word it correctly. When he came in, it was better protection prior to him coming in.
Right.
20 years later, it's better now.
Oh yeah.
Let me get that correct.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right, and that's why he's feeling those effects. Honestly, I don't care what stage you're in. You're gonna feel
a hit is a hit is a hit. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could be in the league for 5 years, 10 years from now. You're gonna feel a hit. Okay.
Without a doubt.
And it's just like
I just wish they would stop slapping each other on the head, in the helmet.
I don't know why they do that, right?
They're going from patting them on the bum to hitting them in the head.
Yeah. And it rings your ears, you know that.
Oh, yeah,
because guys, when I was in high school in the States, the football players used to go around and train. You used to watch them and they used to hit you across the head. And you're like, hey, what the heck, man?
Yeah.
You don't need to be doing all that. But it's interesting how you put your body through all that stuff.
Yeah.
The wear and tear, it catches up to you. You may not feel it now. You may feel it weeks later, months later.
Right.
And then if you're a professional, like you're saying, it can catch up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Especially if you're a running back, wide receiver, or quarterback.
Right.
That's why if I ever played the game, the best position I would play, because you can see everything, I'll play free safety. Because you look over.
Yeah, you look over, yeah. and you choose your tackles.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you see some free safety saying, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Especially when a big running back's coming at you. Coach, I tried. Yeah. I'm going to try to flick his feet, or I'm not tackling. I'm not jumping on it. No.
I'll be the linesman. I'll be linesman.
Oh, they take a beating sometimes too, see? Without any protection.
I'm not going to be a linesman.
Yeah. You're the person that starts and stops the clock.
Yeah. There's
the orange glove.
Yeah, that's straight.
Because the minute they wind up, they go in the back. till somebody calls them back to the front. So yeah,
yeah, be a musket these days.
Be that person. Oh, they fight. Yeah.
Amazing, truly amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I know we got to take a commercial break. We got news coming up, so let's take the commercial break and take the news. And apparently the guest has just arrived, so we're going to bring him on after the news break. And then we have some other guests that Earl has lined up with us today. So we're going to take our commercial break, then go to the news, and we'll be back after the news, guys.
and co-host Earl Basin.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. Just as we said just before the news break that we had the Bermuda Jump Rope Federation join us, and yes, they're in studio, and there's a slew of them. So they're good people, though. They've been doing this now for 3 to 4 years, and we have the president / CEO / trainer all in one. Good afternoon. I forget your first name.
Sienna.
Sienna, how are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. Getting ready for the season.
Getting ready for the season. You've been putting a lot of emphasis in this program. We've had you on previously, and it seems like people are growing in your sport. What's the success behind it?
I think the underlying success of the Bermuda Jump Rope Federation is we are taking a Bermudian tradition and evolving it to become a recognized sport on island and to combat obesity on island. So it just sort of is the perfect time for an alternative sport to come onto the island to address the stagnant nature of our adults and our kids. So jump rope is something that most Bermudians grew up doing. Most kids that I find love doing, and it hits a lot of kids that are not our natural born athletes. So there are so many different reasons why jump rope is just primed to be the biggest sport on island going forward into the future and providing the most opportunities for our youth.
Right. Now you have 4 young, outstanding athletes coming through your program. Can you just tell them, do the introduction, because I was amazed by how you just did one earlier. Just tell them, go through the introduction if you don't mind.
Absolutely. And the kids we have with us in studio today are in the middle of a pre-season training camp. So the last week before school, they are with us doing a full training camp, and these are the kids that you will see out there in the community. So I'll get them to start introducing themselves.
Good morning. My name is D'Angelo Williams. I'm 9 years old. I attend West Pembroke Primary. I'm a Barmy bouncer, and I've been jumping for 3 years.
Yep.
Hi, my name is Aday. I'm 10 years old. I attend St. George's Prep. I've been jumping for 3 years, and I am a Barmy bouncer.
Hi, my name is Katerina. I'm 12 years old. I attend Whitney Institute. I'm a Barmy bouncer, and I've been jumping for 3 years.
Good afternoon. My name is Julius Niftaya. I am 14 years old. I will be attending Thoroughbridge Academy. I've been jumping for 4 years, and I'm the captain of the Barmy Bouncers.
Wow. It's amazing. They're not shy at all.
No, because of the beauty of our sport and the fact that it's just growing, I tell any child that is on our team that you are what is going to push this sport forward. So people are only going to join this sport if they see how awesome you are. And everybody, if you can answer this question, what makes an awesome team?
A disciplined team.
A disciplined team. So outside of having a lot of fun, the insane, awesome gymnastic skills and jump rope skills you get, what parents can get from this program is the discipline, the hard work, and the perseverance that these kids must have on a regular basis to achieve the level of jumping that they are at. So all kids that make it onto our national team have to have a certain jump skill set and a character skill set to be allowed on our team and represent us.
Early this summer, or during our summer, still summertime, you went overseas with a team. I think it was to Florida.
Yeah, with these guys. With some medal winners in the room.
Wow, what was that like?
I'll be brief and then I'll let them say what their experiences were, but it is phenomenal to watch the Bermudian success on a global scale, and I think that's something that our island needs to know. We have so many of these kids going off doing amazing things against 34 other countries and over 1,000 competitors. And if you do not know the sport of jump rope, it is a sight to behold. And the fact that our lip of a little island stands tall next to all these other countries and performs right along with them is admirable. And so these kids put in the work to do that. D'Angelo, it was your first year at World Jump Rope this year. What experience was the best for you?
The best experience for me was when we learned new tricks at the training camp at the last part.
Ooh, good answer, Dee. Yeah, so after the competition, they put on an intensive training camp for 2 days, and the same competitors that were competing against one another, those of the highest level then turn around and staff all of the younger kids from around the world. So these guys have had staff members from Japan, Germany, Kenya, Guyana, all over the world.
So how were you able to come on board to compete or represent Bermuda and compete against countries like you said, Germany, Japan, and various other countries throughout the world?
How do you make it onto the team? I'm going to ask our captain that question. What does it take to be a Burmy bouncer on the national team?
Okay, first of all, you have to have good character. You have to be able to express yourself in the best ways that you can. Secondly, you have to be physically strong. Our routine is called Living a Dream, and you have to get this level 1 routine to be able to move on to higher levels like level 2, and this also allows you to become a Burmy bouncer.
Awesome.
How do you encourage young people like your age to come on board, be a part of it? They see it, of course they get excited, they say, I want to be a member. So what advice do you give to?
To work hard, to keep on pushing even though you may be tired, to keep on pushing, and later you'll become physically stronger and mentally stronger.
With that said, what also regarding, I should say, training programs, what is required? Is it 3 times a week you guys meet, 4 times a week?
It's 3 times a week we meet.
And it's pretty intense?
Yes.
Can you break down a training session, Kat? What type of things do you do in practice?
We do conditioning, like push-ups, sit-ups. Then we learn new tricks and stuff like that, and speed, which is running on a dot as fast as you can.
That's not easy.
No.
What do we say in jump rope?
It's hard until it's easy.
It's hard until it's easy. Oh.
That is the tagline of our national team.
Okay. Now this fall, you're looking to recruit, obviously, new athletes coming on board. What's the expectations? This event gets underway for trials, I think, September 11th. So how can someone get in contact with you? How can they go about it? And where's it all going to be held?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a few ways this fall to get your kids signed up for jump rope. Remembering that the Burmy Bouncers are the national team, so kids will have to try out to get to that spot. Kids who have not jumped before will need to learn a lot of skill sets like any other sport. I want parents to really understand that there is a national team now, so it's not just a club or an activity that you sign your child up to. They have to have a certain skill set in order to make the team. They can find out all they need to know, what skill sets they need to learn for the tryouts on September 8th. This Saturday, we are hosting a community workshop with a $5 entry, so $5 is hopefully very affordable for most. And we are going to be showing everybody what they need to know for the tryouts. So for example, for a student or a kid who's never been jumping before, knowing how, let's see if these guys can do it in studio, knowing how to jump single bounce, just off their toes on a regular basis, knowing how to switch from single bounce to double bounce, having a pause in their jumps, knowing how to jump and do a double under at least. And also, let's see, some speed jumping, which is like running as fast as you can in a row. So those sorts of things are things that kids will need to just know the basics of. They don't need scores or anything like that. They just need to know how to do it. If kids, your child's like, my child don't know how to do that yet, that's absolutely fine. We encourage parents to seek at their schools if they have a Jump to Be Fit club or a team. Fun fact for Sports Talk Radio, we are trying to have the first inter-school competition in June. So no longer do we want just after school programs or this is going to be cute. No, it is now an official inter-school sport. The same as basketball, football, cricket, netball, badminton, softball. Jump rope is now in there. It's happening around the globe, and we really think it needs to be happening here. So Earl, in June, I will hear from you covering the first ever inter-school jump off competition. So for parents, once again, if you are looking to get your kids signed up in the sport, the workshop this Saturday, the 8th, from 1 to 5, tentatively at Victor Scott. We think it's going to be at Victor Scott Gymnasium. And $5 entry, they can learn everything for tryouts, or reach out to your schools. Ask them if they have a Jump to Be Fit club or team going. If not, schools have until September 19th to register. So we've broken down Jump to Be Fit into the same semesters as schools, so there's no confusion. 10-week session, $10 a session for a child, $100 for the entire semester. I think it's very affordable for most parents as well. So that's the best way to get the kids into the program.
Now, if someone's listening, they want to get in contact with you now, is there a contact number or email address?
So best way to contact us is through our email, which is bdajrf@gmail.com. Once again, that's bdajrf, as in Jump Rope Federation, @gmail.com. Or they can give us a call at 531-7714. And there's always social media. Just look up Jump Rope Bermuda, and you can find us on Instagram or Facebook.
What are your numbers like so far?
For the workshop, we leave it open. We don't have pre-registration. And for our team, last year we had 11 on 9. We had roughly 10 elite jumpers, and we had 14. So in the whole team, we had 24 kids.
Okay. And I know you generally get a group to come in to kind of display talent along with the local ones. The interaction with the overseas, how do you find our kids gravitating to some of the things that they've been able to do and gain some of that knowledge?
Infinite. I did not grow up in the sport. So although I coach it, I grew up as a gymnast. But the coaches that we bring down with community sponsorship, so if anybody's listening and wants to sponsor a camp, or we would love help. But we bring down professional world champion jumpers that have been turned into coaches to help our kids. I can only coach them so far in the sport as a certified coach that I am, but there's a different dynamic you get from learning it from an actual athlete in the sport. So when we bring these professionals down, we go into the schools and we take over PE sessions. We do mini workshops in the assemblies. We call them our school tours, and then we host camps. And what it provides these kids is a fighting chance on a global scale. So when we go to competition, a lot of the things that I physically just can't do, they are being taught by our overseas staff, and then they are making it their own. Once they leave, we can then enhance it. So bringing down those overseas staff, because right now, I guarantee you are looking at the best jumpers on island. There is nobody else on this island that will show the 4 people in this room how to do something that they cannot do. Not one person. If you can, I'll give you $1,000. Come find me. But there is not one person on island.
Again outside.
There's not one person that can teach these guys a new skill in our sport, because we're the grassroots. We're growing it. We are the ones forging this forward on island. So the overseas jumpers, it makes our kids prosper tenfold.
The background for this particular sport, what country did it originate?
So the double Dutch portion, as you can imagine, started in Belgium, but the competitive sport of jump rope started back in New York, back in, we're going like early 60s, late 50s, and it started with the American Double Dutch League and the National Double Dutch League coming in. It was much more of an urban takeoff for this sport. But then you have the founders of programs like Jump Rope for Heart in the U.S. that came, and similar to the Jump to Be Fit program that we do here, put it into the schools and saw it for the cardiovascular beneficial exercise as it was. So for all those adults listening, 10 minutes of jump rope is the equivalent of a 30-minute run. So this is not just for the kids. We're getting the kids up there and going, but like I said, we are evolving this sport for the entire island. This is something so many Bermudans say they used to do. Now, in today's world, when we have so many kids that don't do anything, it's the adults' responsibility to lead by example. So I'm calling all adults out, go pick up a rope and just go have some fun, because you will be amazed in 10 minutes you will be breaking a sweat. In 15 minutes of singing and reliving your back in the day and your glory days of doing this, you're going to have a workout. It's amazing what happens when you pick up a rope. So our youth, they are the Bermuda bouncers. You know, they have all this energy. They're going to represent us. They're going to show the world what this island can do in this sport and who Bermudian athletes are. But then we have the adults, and we're called the Bermuda bounce backs. We don't bounce so well. We bounce back.
2 days, 3 days, 4 days?
Maybe, with some Bengay, 5 days later. So the Bermuda bounce backs are our adult recreational program. So we're also starting in the fall. So look out for us mid-fall. September 24th is our first session for new people. So if you want to look for something new for the fall, getting your fall schedule set, because everybody redoes their year, I'm going to jump into the fall, I'm going to get my fitness back, I'm going to, follow this new schedule. A new thing to jump into this fall will be the Bermuda bounce backs. I do not train the adults like the kids. It's very much more relaxed. It's a lot more fun, probably with wine coolers afterwards, to jump away any ill will. But it's just a good time. We'll have double dutch ropes out, fun ropes, and then everybody will just get a workout and get to relive some fun.
Where do you max out for the club? I know the national program will be something different, but for a club, what do you max out at?
Yeah, good question. It's all about teacher participation. Teacher participation. In all schools, I need dedicated staff from the school to help us run this. So with one teacher, we can accommodate 20 students. So it is now myself and one other coach who is our first full-time employee. We're getting up there in the world. So I will be taking the central and eastern end of the islands, and she will be doing the western end. So we can accommodate up to 20 schools in a week by us going out and doing the clubs. And so we were looking for 20 students with one teacher. 10 is the minimum. Okay. We have 10 kids as the minimum. 20 is ideal. 30 if we have a second teacher involved. Only if we have a second teacher involved. Please hear that clearly. But after that, we would love to try and get as many kids jumping. And the kids that you see starting out will eventually be these kids, and these kids will be like the two young men who I think you've all met, Yusef and Sebastian, who used to be the captains of this team, but were accepted into United World Colleges, both of them, and have left us early, so they are now in China and Vancouver, respectively, but will be joining us back again in Norway for competition in July. So they will be rejoining the national team to once again compete with us.
My last question, because last week we had Troy Douglas on, and everyone knows Troy. His background is track and field. He's now working with football teams, soccer teams. A skill such as jump rope can be manufactured in many different sports, teaching balance, teaching. Yep. So are you open to clubs giving you a call to?
Earl, great minds think alike. Just sitting here, yes. Yes, one of the best things about our sport is we have the unique ability to cross-train effectively with all other sporting organizations on island. Think about that. We are the only sport that can go around to every single athlete on island, no matter their sport, and say, we can make you better by doing our sport. So we welcome, we are asking, slightly begging, for other sporting organizations to call us, and we would love to cross-train. I would like to provide my athletes with just fun opportunities to see what other sports are out there, but I really think that we can help enhance the athletes on island. So coaches listening, one session we can come in, we bring the ropes, you can buy them if you want at the end, but we come in, we showcase what drills you can do with your athletes. We can also pinpoint different drills to specify enhancement for your athletes in your specific sport. We can tailor make the workout for the rugby players versus the football players versus the swimmers. And just like NFL players have always been seen to take ballet for their work in footwork, balance, jump rope is 10 times better for all our athletes. So call me, 531-7714.
There you go.
My final question is this. when you first started out with this sport, did you envision you would be here? You'd be where you are now?
I hoped and I prayed. It was honestly laughable. It didn't even seem like a thing. For those that knew me, I was teaching and I was headed back out to Taiwan, and being back home was just sort of supposed to be a small blip. And then I did one workshop, and this woman, Carmen Simpson, who is the head coach of the jumpers that we now bring back down to Island, just looked around and said, "This island is crawling with natural talent." She goes, "I don't know what you're planning on doing with your career, but you can do this and make this here. This needs to happen." She saw the talent, the raw natural talent we had with our youth from just 1 or 2 workshops, and she said, "This needs to happen." So I said, okay. She flew me up, and when I saw it in DC, I was taken aback. Because if you would have asked me in my early 20s, I would have told you I hated kids. So the fact that I'm here working with and molding and passionately loving them, you just something's gotta switch you in life. And that was it for me, because when I was up there, and I guess we have somebody in studio today who saw it for the first time this year, well, a couple of, but JT, who from J-Rock Communication, who does a lot of filming. And if you see us out in the community, if you see us somewhere, it's because of his help. So thank you, J-Rock Communication, for helping us get this out there to the community. Yeah, so thank you to J-Rock, and he does fabulous work. But like he can tell you, when you see it for the first time, and when I sat there and saw it for the first time, and with all the countries, they had like 25 countries at the time, something like that, I was dumbfounded. And it's such a positive environment, and the only question that kept coming in the back of my head was, why not us? Why not Bermuda? Why can't our kids do this? And so yeah, from that simple question, I was just like, my simple answer was, I want to have a team here next year. And now I want to make Bermuda the leading spot in the Caribbean for this sport. And so I want us to host the Pan American Games. I want us to be the first Caribbean country to host the Pan American Jump Rope Games, and that is slated for 2021. So, Minister Weeks, listen up. I have a follow-up meeting for you.
Can you say your number one more time? People
Yes,
say
sir.
You said it too fast.
It's, thanks. Hi, guys, listening. Hi. It's 531-7714.
One more time.
531-7714. And if for any reason Digicel is playing games with me, like they have been, a backup number for information is 232-2673. Once more, it's 232-2673. Give us a call and we'll get all the information you need.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining us today on Inside Sports Talk Radio.
Thank you.
I wish all you guys success in the fall.
That's it.
Thank you.
And you guys are well groomed and not shy at all, which is good.
Awesome. That's what we want to hear.
You're better than J-Rock. Oh, I didn't see you there, Jay. I'm just kidding.
Thank you, JT.
No problem. And keep us posted on what's going to happen with you in the fall. And looks like a very exciting event coming up for you guys.
Thank you. We're hoping we're going to have a really great year. Our first major thing after the start of the season is midterm camp. So just keep us in the back of your head. When midterm camp comes out in October, we will be hosting a jump midterm camp for everybody.
Cool. All right. Well,
Awesome.
We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back after this.
Yes.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
you know, that's how good to see you, man.
Yes.
You know,
Get down and jump in one of these carts, guys.
Huh?
Get down and jump in one of these carts.
My job is to
take pictures. Inner office balance.
I volunteer to do my job.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll be right up.
Man, about 5 minutes to try and just against the cake job, you know.
But bless up.
Hang in there, right? Good to see you, man. I'll come
Thank
down.
you.
Hey,
No worries. It's so good.
I'll see you outside.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's this Sunday, right?
Yeah, this Sunday. Yeah,
okay.
so
We could take a little drive down, man.
Yeah, for sure. Come on down, man.
All right.
And welcome back to Inside Sports Talk Radio. We want to thank our guests who joined us in studio. We didn't get an answer for the trivia question, so we'll carry that over. That one will probably last longer than mine, Ian.
You think so?
We want to thank the... oh, I know so, mate. Trust me, I know.
I googled this one first before we came up with the answer, right?
Yeah. But we want to thank the members of the Bermuda Bouncers, and their season will get underway. They have tryouts September the 11th. And that will be at Victor Scott.
Correct.
So they don't have a time. So
1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay, Victor Scott 1 to 5. September the 11th. That's the Bermuda Bouncers, the Bermuda Jump Rope Federation.
No, 1 to 5. Wait, hang on a second. The 8th is at Victor Scott. The 8th is at Victor Scott from 1 to 5.
Okay.
Right. That's
the season opener workshop.
Right.
Okay.
That's the workshop from 1 to 5 on Saturday.
And then more information to find out about the
event on the 11th.
The tryouts start on the 11th.
Yes, that is correct. Okay. You're right.
And I also want to thank the members of the Bermuda Karting Club, who will get their season underway at the Aruba Southside Motorsports Park on Sunday, beginning at 12:15. They have some entertainment. Obviously, they have some celebrities going to be taking part. Good luck to them. And then season gets underway. Anyone that loves a little bit of speed can go down, as they say, can get into ride and drive. Yeah. So
and it's safe.
Yeah. So
and hopefully they can, as they're in the talks of hopefully hosting an event in the city of Hamilton on Sunday. And that attracts a lot of members, new members, and brings out a lot of crowds.
Oh yeah,
definitely. It's an event that's very spectacular.
People like to see something different, and sometimes they feel as if I don't know why, but St. David's is a far place to go. But when it's convenient, they tend to,
You know what that's from. The average length time in a car, I think, is 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything over 10 minutes, people are like, too far to travel. Too far to travel. So it's one of those things. But hopefully they can host this event at the in the city of Hamilton, and hopefully it's on Sunday and good weather and things. That it's a spectacular event. I must admit, it's very, very spectacular.
The carts are colorful whenever the sun's out. I mean, it's something that it's interesting to watch. The speed that they go, the sounds, it's just adrenaline flowing through everybody, even the spectators. So we wish them well come this season, and we look forward to any developments they might have throughout the season with regards to outside of the racing at the Southside, at the Bermuda Southside Sports Track, but anywhere else they can find a way to get some interest and get some street racing done.
Sure. And also they do it in Dockyard, if I'm correct?
Yeah, they want to try and do it. Yeah, they do. They have street racing in Dockyard. They had it 3 years in a row. They've had one in Hamilton. As Scott said, they're looking to hopefully have an event at Cross Island, and it talks with that as well. So, who knows? Exciting times.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for our listeners. We'll have that trivia question for you next week. And those who Google, good luck. That's all I'll say to you. Ain't even Googling this time around. So, we'll join us Monday on September 10th at 12:15. Bye for now.